Okay, so in this video, we will discuss the market system. The market system will conclude chapter one. That chapter one is the brief introduction. So the market system is kind of more of a descriptive. It's very in detail, and it is more on the descriptive side. We do have one or more diagrams, and particularly the flow diagram, which we're basically going to describe and define right now. But we're just saying that the market system, we want to describe it in as much detail as we can. A lot of us, including me, don't really like this as much because it's not so much math or graphs or things like that. We really have to discuss and understand the ideas, but that is the purpose behind the market system. So we basically do that now. We just kind of jump right in. So this is basically what we're talking about, if we can understand when talking about a market system. The members of each economy must provide answers to three basic economic questions. Uh, we have the three here. But what commodities to be produced? Yeah, how these commodities should be produced, and how these commodities should be distributed among economic agents. Of course, it's just vocabulary and stuff, but we kind of talk about this stuff as we go along. As we said previously, an economic agent is like a people, us citizens, producers, all of us who go to work, groups of people, firms, etc. Any individual in the economy or group of people can be considered an economic agent. So I kind of make that note there red because these are going to be five key features right here. But we just kind of read them uh, and we can kind of note them as we read. We shall concentrate on mixed capitalistic economic system wherein the basic economic questions are answered primarily by markets and prices with some government inferences in guidance with respect to resource allocation. So, like everything, that one statement I made is exactly what we mean when we say descriptive. It's very, very hard to pick apart these definitions and know exactly what we mean. We kind of go a little bit further detail in the course and maybe we kind of learn, but all of that was a fancy way of saying capitalism. Of course, in any economics class, we always focus on capitalism. That's what it is, and that's what the United States is. Abstracting from governmental inference and activity, a capitalistic system has certain key or necessary features. So these are the five. The first is primarily private ownership of resources. The second is that individuals seek to maximize their own self-interest when making economic decisions. So third, individuals have freedom of choice in deciding on economic activities. Fourth, markets and prices answer the three basic economic questions. And then, of course, fifth, perfect competition can convert self-interested optimization into common good under certain assumptions. So those are kind of the five bullet points that we have there, key features of the capitalist system. Uh, so to describe a market system as we see is very complicated. It's just, very, very, very technical language that we cannot learn in one video. But through the class, some of this stuff we define a little bit better. Some of it maybe we don't. Um, but it is descriptive. So we just want to have these descriptions here as part of this course. We just have to say it as an introduction. We don't necessarily have to understand it. It's simply a 10 or 20-minute video. It's impossible to very well understand what a market system is. So we're just kind of when we say defining it, it's assuming that we understand it. In my opinion, I don't really think that we can understand this that well just by kind of stating it, but we're just kind of trying to give the brief introduction is all that we're doing here. Okay, so if we scroll down, something that we're basically building up to here, and we're going to try and describe this in great detail, is our flow diagram. So this is the flow diagram. Two main things in there, of course, are resource markets and product markets. Um, this is okay. This small little picture here, very confusing. Uh, uh, it is accurate. I'm not really sure that it makes a whole lot of sense here, but it just kind of it quickly defines the resource market and the product market in kind of a simplicity here. So I circled that, which we might in a minute, but we don't circle that. We're just kind of saying resource market in, a company or firm, and then a product market out. Uh, but what we do is we quickly define, if we can, the resource market and the product market before we take a look at our flow diagram. So resource markets and product markets are more conceptual than actual places. They're simply concepts, obviously. But in a way, everything produced in the world comes from a resource market. Yeah, we're really simplifying there, so that doesn't describe it well enough. But along the whole line, everything in the world that's basically produced eventually from some point came from the resource market. But briefly stated, if a company produces all the resources, companies, firms, however we name it, if a company produces all the resources coming in to the company are coming from resource markets. Yeah. So all of us that produce in the world, all the stuff that we need to produce that's coming into our company is coming from the resource market. That is the concept of the resource market. Yeah. So I think we do define product market correctly, but it's kind of like I skipped something which will be in our flow diagram. But all firms are part of the product market, or all firms pour into the product market. That's the part that's confusing. But the company itself, yeah. So let's kind of revert back to how this was before, if it's like all one thing here, yeah. Okay, so the company or firm, a firm is a company is a firm. The company itself is part of the product market. Yeah, so selling goods and services. It doesn't matter if we have pretty fundamental pieces which came from the resource market, or if we have incredibly complex, computers and other things that are, made from a great many resources. We have goods and services coming out of the company. So goods and services are basically part of the product market. I find it very confusing. But obviously, the concept of the resource market and the product market overlap because more fundamental resources uh, coming into the product market, coming into the companies, can also be produced by companies. So basically, you have this thing, if like a building or a company is kind of a machine or something. Yeah, we have this thing. Anything going into the machine is coming from the resource market, and anything coming out is part of the product market. Yeah, but we're going a little bit too far here. It's kind of mine, but things produced in the world are also going into other companies. So the resource market and the product market kind of overlap in a way. We think of the resource market as like iron or something, like more fundamental things, or grain or something, which is true, but it's not like the only thing. So basically, I think yes, some things from the product market can be considered part of the resource market. But basically, if we do understand something, uh, all the stuff we need to produce is coming from the resource market, and everything that we do produce is part of the product market. Okay, so if I can, um,